See the Kosi Arsenal podcast. My name is Kosi. Welcome back to a brand new video. Mikel Arteta has said that he's totally obsessed with winning the Premier League this season, and he thinks it's possible on a weekend that gives us a massive opportunity to get into, within reach of Liverpool, even without using our game in hand. Now, of course, Mikel has also talked about the arrival of Gabriel Martinelli back from injury, the arrival of Saka back from injury, and our UEFA Champions League draw. So we're going to be diving into all those reactions. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. Let's get into it. Among other things Mikel talked about before we played West Ham, he talked about his desire and obsession to win the Premier League. He said, right now, this project is, at the time where we've got to win. And that's why you see a lot of people are judging us by what has he won, what have we won, and will we win anything? And he says, at the moment, he is obsessed about winning. He's obsessed about everything that can lead us to winning. That is, from chance creation to the day-to-day activities we do off the pitch and everything. He's obsessed about, everything. And I think, listen, if you are Mikel Arteta right now, you've got to believe. There is a massive chance to believe. He talks about Liverpool as well in this interview. And he says, we are at a time where games are coming in thick and fast. There are 13 games to go. There's going to be a time in April where you have a lot of football in a very short period of time. And we have already seen that clubs have started to decline. He means Liverpool, but he doesn't say Liverpool. But he says we have seen that clubs have begun to decline, and, it's becoming harder to win games. And listen, as you go to the end of the campaign, it becomes extremely difficult to pick up 3 points in games. And the reason, every single club out there is trying to survive. The clubs that are looking to go to Europa are looking for those points. The clubs that want to survive relegation are looking for those points. And the clubs that want to qualify for the UCL are also looking for those points. So it becomes incredibly difficult for you to just go walk into a game and win the league. And that's why we all thought that with Liverpool trying to be as good as they were in the first part of the season, they could actually win it. But if you decline at a very, very alarming rate in the second part of the campaign, you might actually not make it. So Mikel Arteta thinks there is a chance for us to win, and he thinks that his team still deserve to be in the title race, and we deserve to be in the title race, and we are in the title race. Now, this weekend gives us a very interesting opportunity because Liverpool have a difficult game in Manchester City. Manchester City are out of the UEFA Champions League. Manchester City are out of the Carabao Cup. City, if they are to win silverware, are they still in the FA? I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. So if they're to win silverware, it's gonna be the FA and it's going to be the Premier League. That puts us under a little pressure. I mean, think about City. They're 9 points behind Arsenal, and I think they're around, is it 17 points behind Liverpool? If they win each and every game left, and Liverpool and Arsenal crumble for 5 games, Manchester City could still be, champions, right? But why this weekend is important is City are going to do whatever it takes to prove a point that we are not actually as bad as people think we are, although we are actually bad. And they might start their run by stopping Liverpool. Now, we have seen Liverpool drop points against Villa, they've dropped points against Everton, and now they have Manchester City coming up. And they also have that midweek fixture that is still crucial for them. Liverpool could literally drop around 10 points or 8 points within a space of like a week and a half. I mean, if you're Arsenal, your eyes could have got to light up, your brain has got to light up, you must seize the opportunity. And if Liverpool drop points against City, let's say they drop 2, there will be 10 points above Arsenal. But that means that Arsenal have 2 games in hand. And if Arsenal win their 2 games in hand, right, that takes it to just 4 points. We will be 4 points behind Liverpool, and we have to play Liverpool in May. And if Arsenal keep up the momentum and, by any miracle, we reach May and we are like 1 or 2 points or 3 points behind Liverpool, our job will be to beat Liverpool and go and win the title. It is a very, very interesting title race. Mikel says that we are obsessed. He is obsessed about everything. Let's wait and see where this one is going to end. In terms of the big team news, he says there's nothing apart from Ben White. He was asked whether he's ready to start, and he said he is 100% available. White is 100% available, whether we want him to start or not. That is going to be a decision him as the manager and the coaching staff have to make. But White is available. The doctors have cleared him to be a part of the squad and also a part of the starting 11. Now, on Saka and Gabriel Martinelli, he was asked about their due dates and whether their coming back could impact the title race and the Champions League race. And he said, with Gabriel Martinelli, expect him a little bit sooner, expect him a little bit earlier than Saka. And he says it was the extent of the injury. Martinelli's injury was not as drastic as Saka's injury, but expect Martinelli to come back quicker and expect Saka to come back slightly at a later date. But both of them, interesting enough, will be available if they don't suffer setbacks and again other injuries. They will be available for our quarter-final game, which in the Champions League, which would be, if we go past PSV, either versus Real Madrid, that is bad news, or Atletico Madrid, which is not good news. So Saka and Martinelli, positive from Mikel Arteta, because he said, in terms of the timeline, I'm going to leave that to the doctors, but I can tell you that Martinelli is ahead of schedule and he will come back slightly before Saka. And again, for me, like I said, we have 4 games in March. That's okay. That is definitely pretty much okay. Before we go into the final international break of the season, we have a game to handle. And that game, I think, would be Chelsea. And then we shall go into the international break in March. And then we come back on April the 1st when we take on Fulham. There is a possibility that by the time we play Fulham, both Saka and Martinelli will be available to play in that game. And that changes everything. That changes the title race. And that changes the UCL, the way we view the UCL. Because when you look at this team right now, you're like, no, we don't stand a chance against PSV maybe, but against Madrid and Atletico, no. But if Arsenal have Saka and Martinelli back, and I don't know who plays up top, maybe Trossard, that changes everything. Mikel was talked about the PSV draw, and he said they're a very good team. We've played them. We understand them. They understand us as well. It's going to be a difficult game. At this level, they're no longer any easy games. And you've got to understand him. Every team at this level, when a team makes it through to the round of 16, they cease to be an easy opponent. And you remember, we played Sporting Lisbon before at the round of 16. They have done a job on us. We have played Olympiacos before, and Arsene Wenger, they did a job on us. We have played Dortmund before, and they've done a job on us. We've played different teams under different managers on the round of 16 and the quarterfinals, or on the knockout stages, and they've always done a job on us. So Mikel says we've got to be careful. We've got to be very, very skeptical, and by the time we play PSV, we shall be ready for them. I think what really is going to matter about PSV is the run of form that we are going to have. That is number one. Like, if Arsenal are really having some kind of form, I think PSV will struggle. But if we go into that game with a little bit of heavy legs, with a little bit of hangover, you don't want that. You don't want to play the Dutch LTVC giants with any kind of mental weakness. You really don't want to do that. But he says PSV, difficult game, but we shall be ready. He was asked about the Liverpool-Manchester City game and whether that is going to take his attention. And he said it will. We shall watch the game, right? He said the only games that I don't watch vividly are from sports that don't impact ours. For example, basketball, tennis, whatever. But when it comes to football matches, he says, I watch them vividly. So Sunday, which is tomorrow, Mikel will be watching Liverpool versus Manchester City, hoping for a City win or hoping for a draw. On whether Mikel Merino is training up top and whether playing there is an experiment, he said, first of all, playing there, he has never played there before. We were told that he's played a lot of times there, but he said he's never played there before. Therefore, it was an experiment. We wanted to see whether it would work. And he said, yes, he's trained as a center forward, and we want to see whether it's going to work out. And a couple of players have also trained there. We've been told that Nonweri has trained as up top. We've told that Trossard has trained there as well. And Mikel Merino is not the best option there, by the way. Like, I'm hearing all this talk on Twitter and TikTok and YouTube where Arsenal fans are like, Mikel Merino is the revolutionary striker that we've been waiting for. No, he is not. Yes, the guy came on and scored 2 beautiful goals and the positioning was absolutely fantastic. But wait for him when he starts missing those chances. Like, I don't think that he's got those striker instincts that strikers use to bang in goals. But nevertheless, he's not a bad option up top. But what I want to say about Mikel Merino training as a striker, it just brings us a use case for a player that we thought, well, this is not his season, maybe next season. We have just found a way of using a player that we bought and didn't work out initially as a midfielder. Now, all of a sudden, he can bang in the goals. And I think with Arsenal really opting for the wider chance creation strategy, it's working. It's absolutely working. I've never imagined, ever in my life, that Mikel Merino would be an Arsenal centre forward one day. Never. But with Arsenal swinging balls into wider areas and then crossing them into the penalty area, why not? Having Mikel Merino there, them makes a lot of sense. Them right. It makes a lot of sense, right? So we are going to see a lot of Mikel Merino up top. Mikel talked about academy players and he said, we've prepared a few. They are ready. We can summon them whenever we need to. It's just about me. If I want players to come from the academy to take advantage of this injury crisis, I will call upon them. There are a few interesting names, but I just think that the season has gone to a crucial point. There are times when you want youngsters. There are times when I was screaming out for Ethan Nwaneri when Odegaard was injured. And Mikel said, no, I'm not doing it. We are not doing that. And we were like, why? But right now, playing youngsters would be disastrous for them. The amount of pressure this team is under. Like, Liverpool are dropping points, which means you need to be capitalizing. And then at the back of our mind, we have been given a good, gracious gift of, do you know that you have Madrid coming up? That is pressure in itself. So I would say keep the youngsters out of this. When the team is stable and we are winning games again, you can introduce youngsters. He also talked about Raheem Sterling, right? He also talked about Raheem Sterling. And with Sterling, he was asked about whether Sterling is going to have a huge impact. I think this is like the 10th time Mikel has been asked, do you think he's going to have a huge impact? Are they trying to mock us? Like, are journalists trying to mock us for such a bad sign that he has been? But once again, Mikel said he's a player of experience. We signed him and we know what we signed up for. So we expect him to step up. Will he step up? In my opinion, I don't think so. But if the manager says he will step up, then I say he will step up. It's as simple as that. Hit the like button. See you soon.